That night, everything changed. It all started with a simple request. "Can you pick me up at 11 o'clock? Madison had asked with a sweet smile as she got ready. "I don't want to drink and drive. It's just a girls' night. Nothing crazy." There was no reason to doubt her. At least that's what I told myself. I kissed her goodbye, told her to have fun, and watched as she walked out the door, stunning in the black dress she had bought just last week. I should have been thinking about how lucky I was. Instead, an uneasy feeling gnawed at me. That's when I made up my mind. I would go early. Not because I didn't trust her, but because I needed to see for myself. At exactly 10, I pulled up outside the venue. Music pulsed through the air, the bass vibrating beneath my feet. Clusters of people stood outside, laughing and drinking, oblivious to the fact that I was about to watch my entire world fall apart. I took a deep breath, stepped out of the car, and made my way inside. The party was packed. Dim lights flickered over a haze of sweat and alcohol. People swayed together on the dance floor, their faces lit with intoxicated joy. And then I saw her, Madison. But she wasn't with her friends. She wasn't just having fun. She was wrapped around someone else. My breath caught in my throat. Her hands rested on his shoulders. Her body pressed against his, as though they were the only two people in the room. His hands clutched her waist, pulling her closer. She whispered something to him, tilting her head the way she used to do with me. And then, as if the universe wanted to twist the knife deeper, she ran her fingers through his hair and laughed. The same laugh that once belonged to me. A numbness spread through my body. She had no idea I was watching, standing only feet away as she threw everything away. "Just a girls' night," she had said. "Nothing serious." But there she was, swaying against him, whispering into his ear like they shared a secret meant for no one else. My pulse pounded, but I forced myself to stay calm. This wasn't the time for anger. This was the time for proof. She thought she could lie, thought I'd arrive at 11 like a fool, never suspecting a thing. But I was already there. I pulled out my phone, steady fingers opening the camera, and started recording. Every touch, every glance, every smile that wasn't meant for me anymore. I captured it all. The Madison I thought I knew was gone. I could have confronted her right there, tapped her on the shoulder, and watched the shock spread across her face. But that would have been too easy. She had lied for weeks, maybe months. She didn't deserve an easy escape. So I waited. I stayed back, watching as she lost herself in her little world, oblivious to everything but him. He leaned in and whispered something. She giggled and nodded before taking his hand, leading him away from the dance floor. My stomach twisted, but I followed. They slipped into a quieter hallway near the VIP lounge, away from the crowd. I stopped just around the corner, my phone still recording, as she wrapped herself around him again. His lips brushed her cheek, his hands tightened on her waist. And then, just before the inevitable, I stepped forward. Her name left my lips like a sharp blade cutting through the moment. She froze. Slowly, she turned. The light in her eyes dimmed, replaced by panic. Her hands were still on him, his arms still around her, but now she was looking at me. Her mouth opened, but nothing came out. "You said this was a girls' night." The guy, her secret fling, looked between us, confused. Who's this?" Madison tore herself away from him like she'd been burned, stumbling a step closer to me. "Alex, I can explain." I let out a quiet laugh, holding up my phone. "No need. I already have everything I need." Her face drained of color. She lunged for my phone, desperate. "Wait. Just let me talk to you." I pulled it back out of reach. "Talk now? You want to talk?" My voice was cold, steady. "Because 10 minutes ago, you looked pretty comfortable talking to him." The guy's expression shifted as realization dawned on him. He raised his hands, stepping back. "Yo, man. I didn't know she was with anyone." My jaw tightened. "I'm sure she didn't tell you a lot of things." He turned to Madison. "Wait, you're in a relationship?" She looked at him, eyes pleading. "It's complicated." A humorless laugh escaped me. "No, Madison. It's actually really simple." Her eyes darted between us, searching for a way out. She had never expected this, never thought she'd be caught. She must have believed she could keep playing her little game forever. But the game was over. I took a step closer, my voice quieter now, controlled. Did you really think I wouldn't find out? She swallowed hard. It's not what it looks like. I raised an eyebrow. Really? Because from where I was standing, recording by the way, it looked exactly like you were cheating on me. Tears welled up in her eyes. I wasn't falling for it. Not this time. It was just a stupid mistake, she whispered. I had too much to drink. Spare me. I cut her off. I saw the way you looked at him. You weren't drunk, Madison. You were choosing this. Her breath hitched. I love you, Alex. Please. But I had already turned away. As I exhaled sharply, shaking my head, I scoffed at the idea. Home. I let out a cold chuckle. Madison, you don't have a home with me anymore. Her breath hitched, but I wasn't finished. I turned to the guy beside her, my voice steady. You want her. I gestured toward Madison, who was now trembling, her regret and panic plain as day. He looked uncomfortable, shifting on his feet. Yeah, I think I'm good, man. I smirked. Figures. Turning back to Madison, I saw her completely unraveling. I was supposed to pick you up at 11 o'clock, just like you asked, I said, my voice slow and deliberate. But instead I got here an hour early, and look what I found. Tears streamed down her face as she wiped them away. Her voice breaking. It didn't mean anything. I nodded, my expression unreadable. You're right. Because after tonight, you mean nothing to me. She let out a soft sob, reaching for me, but I was already walking away. Not another second of my time would be wasted on her. She thought she had control, thought she could keep sneaking around, lying, playing me for a fool. But tonight I was the one walking away first, and I wasn't looking back. As I left the club, I could feel her world crumbling behind me, but I wasn't just leaving. I was making sure every bridge she thought she could cross back over was burned beyond recognition. By the time I reached my car, my phone was already buzzing Madison. I ignored it. Another call, then a message, Madison. Alex, please talk to me. Madison. I messed up, but we can fix this. Madison. Where are you? I smirked. She still didn't get it. Still thought she had a chance to explain, to twist the truth into something she could manage. Not this time. I opened our group chat, the one filled with our mutual friends, people she had deceived just as much as she had deceived me, and dropped the video. Me. Just so everyone knows what Madison was up to tonight. The response was immediate. Chris. No freaking way. Megan. Madison. Please tell me this isn't real. Josh. Damn, that's brutal. I'm so sorry, man. But the best reaction. Madison, are you serious? Why would you do this? I laughed, shaking my head. Oh, now she was mad now that the truth was out. I took a deep breath, fingers hovering over the keyboard, then typed the last message she'd ever get from me. Me, because you deserved it. And then, with zero hesitation, I blocked her number. The fallout was instant. By the next day, her reputation was destroyed. People who had once adored her now saw the truth. A liar, a cheater, a fraud. And the best part, even the guy she had been all over that night wanted nothing to do with her. Apparently, once I left, he realized exactly what kind of disaster he had stumbled into. He walked away within minutes, leaving her completely alone. Through mutual friends, I heard she had been scrambling, trying to convince people to take her side, claiming it was all a misunderstanding, but no one was buying it. Not with the proof right in front of them. She wasn't just dealing with a breakup. She was dealing with the consequences of her own actions. A week later, the final blow came. Chris. Dude, Madison lost her job. Me. What? How? Chris. Her boss saw the video. She had a big promotion lined up, but they didn't want someone with a reputation like that representing the company. I read the message again, letting it sink in. Madison had lost everything. Her relationship, her friends, her career. I should have felt something, guilt, pity, anything, but I didn't. She had done this to herself. A week passed and her world had completely crumbled. No friends, no job, even the guy from that night had disappeared. She was drowning in the mess she created. And me? I had never felt better. For so long, she had been hiding, controlling the narrative, playing her games. But she never considered what would happen when the truth came out. Now everyone knew. No more secrets, no more lies. Even after losing everything, she still had the nerve to try one last time. It was a Friday night when she showed up at my door. I had just gotten back from dinner with friends when I heard the knock. I thought about ignoring it, letting her stand outside and feel the weight of what she had done. But a part of me wanted to see her face one last time. I opened the door. She stood there, eyes swollen, hair messy. Nothing like the confident woman she had been just a week ago. She looked broken, leaning against the doorframe. I crossed my arms. "What do you want?" Her lip trembled. I needed to see you." I sighed, already exhausted by this conversation. "Why? You made it pretty clear that I wasn't important to you that night." She shook her head desperately, stepping forward. "That's not true. I never wanted to hurt you, Alex." I scoffed. "You didn't hurt me, Madison. You just showed me who you really are." Her breath hitched. For a second I thought she might cry, but I didn't care. Not anymore. She wiped at her face. "I made a mistake." I exhaled sharply. "No, Madison. A mistake is something you regret the second it happens. A mistake is an accident. You didn't accidentally dance with him. You didn't accidentally put your hands on him. You chose to do it. The only thing you regret is getting caught." She took a shaky breath, looking at the ground. I miss you." I stared at her for a long moment. A week ago, those words would have meant something. A week ago, I might have believed her. Now I felt nothing. I stepped back. "Yeah, well, I don't miss you." Her eyes snapped up to mine, shock flashing across her face. "Alex." I cut her off. "Go home, Madison." She swallowed hard, hesitating like she wanted to argue, like she wanted to fight for something that had already turned to ash. But there was nothing left. Finally, she nodded, stepping away. "Goodbye, Alex." I watched her walk away, shoulders slumped, her world in ruins, and for the first time in a long time, I felt free. She thought she had control, that she could lie, sneak around, and still come back to me at the end of the night. She was wrong. She lost everything. And me? I was finally moving.